Hello, welcome to another Music Monday. We're going to have a look at modes in music, and it's a different way of how to work them out. I have done a previous video on this, and I'll link to that if you find that an easier way of working out modes in music. But let's have a look at a possibly more musically technical, because we're going to talk about sharps and flats, but actually I think it might make it easier for some people to understand. Don't forget, if this is the sort of fun stuff you enjoy, don't forget like and subscribe is always appreciated. So let's crack on. Just a reminder, a mode is just a sequence of notes in a particular order. So the major scale is a sequence in a particular order. The minor scale, again, it is a particular mode. Now, we also have these Greek names for the modes. Now, Ionian is basically the major scale, and Aeolian down at position number 6 is the minor scale. The first way that I showed in the other video of how to work this out was if you start on the first degree of a major scale and play all the notes in it, you will play a Ionian mode. If you start on the second degree, you'll play a Dorian, and you'll play a Phrygian if you start on the third, and so on as you move up. The catch is here, I can play E Phrygian because I know it's the third degree of a scale, but to work it backwards is a lot harder. So to get the sound you want, yes, that's a great way of memorising it for the key of C and only using white notes to work out the others. But in actual real life, that's not quite as practical as you might hope. So let's change it up a bit. What I've done is reordered things there. So now we've got the brightest mode, which is Lydian, at the top, and we've got the darkest mode, Locrian, at the bottom. On the left hand side, what I've done is shown you not which degree of the scale it is. What we are now showing is how many sharps or flats are changed from the major scale, the Ionian mode. So obviously Ionian has nothing changed because it would just be the major scale. To get Lydian, we add a sharp. For mixed Lydian, we add 1 flat. For Phrygian, we add 4 flats, and all we need to know is which ones those are, really. So let's expand that, swap them over so that we've got a bit more room, and I'm going to have to move that across to the left a bit so that I'm not in the way. And what I've done now is shown you we're still brightest to darkest, but next to 1 sharp, it now says which note we need to sharpen or flatten. So that's saying Lydian has 1 sharp, and it's the 4th degree that we need to sharpen. Ionian, that's major. And then let's look at, well, Aeolian, the minor, natural minor scale, has 3 flats in it, the 7th, the 3rd and the 6th. The reason I've written them out of sequence like that is because you can see the pattern forms. So it goes 7, 7, 3, 7, 3, 6, 7, 3, 6, 2, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. It's a nice easy way of memorising which notes to alter from the major scale. So remember, you think major scale, how do I alter it to get these different modes? And I think it's fair enough if we just go through and do them. So Lydian, so we would have the major scale, C to C, and we are going to sharpen the 4th note. The 4th note of C is F, so we're going to play an F sharp instead. There you go. And that is considered a sort of magical type of sound. Next up, Ionian. And that is just the normal major scale. Nothing's changed, and you most frequently hear it in pop music. Then we've got Mixolydian. This is where we start adding the flats. So the first one we add is a flat 7, and this is considered a blues sort of sound. So again, in our C major scale, we will flatten the 7th, so we're putting that B flat in. Great, that's Mixolydian. Now we come to Dorian. This is considered by quite a few people as actually the saddest rather than the minor scale. So For Dorian, we need to flatten the 7th like we had in Mixolydian, but now we're also flattening the 3rd as well. That minor 3rd is coming in now. There you go, that's our saddest mode. Then we get to Aeolian, which is basically the minor scale. So we had the flat 7 and the flat 3, now we're adding the flat 6. You should recognise that as your C minor scale now. And I've put superhero next to that because a lot of superhero themes are written in the Aeolian or minor mode. Then we have Phrygian. So what did we just have? 7, 3 and 6. Now we're adding a 2. Now this is sounding sort of Egyptian type of music. So there you go. So that's Phrygian. And finally, we have the evil Locrian, because not only do we flatten 7, 3, 6 and 2, we also flatten 5, and that is why it sounds really odd, is because the 5th is the perfect 5th of C. So by removing that from the scale, you really unsettle everything and give it that very ominous sound. So even though I did hit that note quite loudly. There you go. A different way of thinking about modes and working them out for yourself. I hope you found that useful. Have a look at the other video as well if you want another perspective and way of thinking about it. But like and subscribe, always appreciated. See you in the next video. Bye for now.